Titans hit the football field tomorrow night against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, we've seen them in a preseason game against the Bucs. We've seen a couple of joint practices, so I figured let's take a look at what the 53-man roster projection could look like heading into week 1 of the NFL season. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and let's just get straight into the quarterback room. There are going to be 2 QBs on this roster, and I'm not 100% sure who's going to be that second one. It could be Brandon Allen, or they also signed Trevor Siemian. So we got a little backup quarterback. We all know Cam Ward is going to be the starter. They cut Tim Boyle because he was god-awful in that preseason game. But Brandon Allen, not so hot either to be your backup quarterback. I know he's got a little bit of experience in the NFL, but when you saw that last week against the Bucs, 6 for 12 completions, 62 yards, and an interception. And that score, what you saw, 29-7, that wasn't because of Cam Ward. He led a 65-yard touchdown down the field, which was a nice drive. But then the backups came in, and it became awful. And I mean awful. So they decided, instead of bringing in a backup quarterback that is good, they brought in Trevor Siemian, who didn't play in 2024. And I really don't understand this. I know he's been a part of the Titans organization back during 2020. He was on the practice squad in 2024, got promoted. But why are we talking about this? Why can't you go out and sign a better backup quarterback like a guy like Carson Wentz that's sitting right there waiting? Hell, I saw in the comments of everybody's tweets after they signed Trevor Siemian, just bring back Ryan Tannehill. Please sign another quarterback. You do not want to go into 2025 with the backup as Brandon Allen or Trevor Siemian because God forbid Cam Ward gets hurt, you're screwed. You're done. So knock on wood that he stays healthy, but you need to have a backup quarterback that's serviceable and could also kind of mentor Cam Ward. I'm not going to say that Trevor Siemian and Brandon Allen can also mentor your new franchise guy. Before we get into some of the rest of the roster projections, I figured, well, let's have a little August sub-battle with a division rival. And it's not looking so hot, guys. The Texans today, they are blowing us out the water. 205 subs to 400 subs. So let's get those numbers up. If you want Titans coverage every single day, every time they make a move, every time they hear news that's going on, we make a video for you guys. So let's get this closer. Let's try to get this, bump it up, and beat Texans today. Sub now to Titans today. All right, let's go to the running back room. I say they're going to have 4 running backs on the roster, and it could be 3, but I got Tony Pollard, Julius Chestnut, Khalil Mullings, and then Tajay Spears might be on the PUP list. He might not be on the PUP list. We have no idea what is going to happen because in the preseason game against the Buccaneers, he was unfortunately injured, and Adam Schefter gave us a little bit of a heart attack saying he got carted off the field with a lower leg injury. It turned out that lower leg injury was just a ankle sprain. And it wasn't too serious, but he's going to be out for the rest of the rest of the preseason, and the team hopes to have him back by the start of the regular season, which I hope, but we're not 100% sure. So you need to have a backup running back that is going to be in place of Tajay Spears because Tony Pollard can't do it all. He cannot do it all. And for Khalil Mullings, he actually had a pretty good outing against Tampa Bay. He had 7 carries, 33 yards, a long rush of 12. He is going to be your ground guy. He is, you see that. 6'1", 226 pounds. That is not Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is a speed guy. With Khalil Mullings, you get that thunder and kind of lightning with that going in to this season. And I'm hoping that he gets a lot more reps going into this second preseason game against the Falcons. Now we look at the wide receiver room. And this is kind of one of the battles that we've been looking at throughout the whole entire offseason. And there's one guy that you don't see on here. We'll get into that in a second. But Calvin Ridley, Elic Ayomanor, Van Jefferson, Chimere Dike, Tyler Lockett. And then I got Bryce Oliver going into this roster. There's another guy. I think he's going to be a special team specialist. We'll get into that later in the show. But you see one guy on there. Xavier Restrepo is not on my list to make this roster. And there was a reason for this. Because if you see here from Turron Davenport, he only played 1 snap, and that was special teams at 5:50 left in the third quarter. And if a guy that's trying to fight for a roster spot is not getting in until 5:50 left in the third and not playing a lot of snaps, like you could see it on this screen right here. Here's your wide receiver snaps. He only played about 11. And I know you see Van Jefferson in there, but these are stars. Like Chimere Dike is your a high draft pick, so he's not going to be getting that. But Xavier Restrepo, an undrafted guy who's fighting for a roster spot, not getting a lot of time on the field, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. My opinion, they'll probably cut him once we get down to roster cut down days, and he'll most likely go on the practice squad just in case someone gets hurt, and he can move up to that active roster because Cam Ward, I'll say this and I'll say it again, it's Cam Ward's best friend. It's Cam Ward's top target when he was in college. He will be on this organization in some way, shape, or form. Going to the tight ends, Chigakakwo, Gunnar Helm, and I like David Martin Robinson as kind of being your blocking guy. You want to have a third tight end on the roster just in case, but it's mainly going to be Chigakakwo and Gunnar Helm. Now, you're probably thinking, where's the other guy, Josh Wiley? Well, Wiley's kind of fallen out of the rotation here with this Titans team. He was here last year. I mean, he put up solid numbers, not playing too much behind Chig, but here's another one. If you look at the snaps that we saw Josh Wiley play, only 11. And Chigakakwo got 14. David Martin Robinson, who's he's competing with for this third spot on the tight end depth chart, 15 snaps up compared to only 11. If you're getting just that little amount of snaps when you're fighting for a spot, I said it with Xavier Restrepo, and especially when you're a vet, this isn't his rookie year. He's falling back. It speaks volume that he's probably not going to be on this team. I think maybe the Titans could look for some trade value with him, but overall he's probably going to get cut. The whole line room, nothing really in particular that's sticking out. You have Dan Moore Jr., Peter Skoronski, Lord Cushenberry was thankfully activated off PUP list earlier this week. Kevin Zeitler at right guard, and then J.C. Latham to his original right guard spot. Corey Levin is your backup. Blake Hance, Jackson Slater, Jalen Duncan is your backup tackle. And on John Ojukwu, I cannot pronounce that very well. I am terrible at names, but he's going to be on your team. No surprises here. It was projected that this was going to be your offensive line group for a total. So we went through the offense. Go and grade it for me. What do you guys think? Give it an A, B, C, D, or F for the Titans offense in 2025. For me, I'd probably give it a C+. It's gotten a lot better from what it was last year. They were the worst team in the league with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph as your quarterback and no wide receivers to throw to besides Calvin Ridley. We're going to get to the defense in just a second, but I got to tell you guys about this deal. Cutoff hoodies, 40% off. For the Titans, you can get it at chatsports.com/Titans hoodie and get it on sale while supplies last, because once it gets cold and once football season starts, all these deals go out the window. So if you want to get a hoodie where you can wear it in September, in October, in November when it's not too chilly outside with the cutoff sleeves, get yours today. I like it. It's sleek. It's lightweight. Chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. 40% off, people. You can get it in the comments and description of today's video. Go to the interior D-line. I mean, this is probably the strength of the Titans team. You got Jeffrey Simmons, who might be an all-pro this year, Tavondre Sweat, Timmy Horn, and James Lynch. Those are my four guys. I know you probably didn't see where's Sebastian Joseph Day. I have him with the defensive line and the edge room. Like, you have him, Arden Key, Femi Oladejo, Draymond Jones, Jihad Ward was signed after Lorenzo Carter retired. He was actually looking impressive during that preseason game, and then Jalen Harrell going in as your 6 guys on your defensive line for your edges. Linebacker, that's where it comes a bit of a surprise. Cody Barton, James Williams has absolutely shined. I think he could be a breakout candidate moving from safety into that second linebacker spot. Cedric Gray and then Curtis Jacobs. And I have Curtis Jacobs in here for what he did during the preseason, but that fourth linebacker spot is completely wide open. If you look at the transactions between the Titans and the waiver wire, every transaction they've made, they are signing linebackers left and right. Left and right. They are trying to figure out who is going to be on that fourth linebacker spot. And they made a bit of a surprising move. They waived who was projected to be the starter at the beginning of the offseason, Otis Reese. Completely waived him. He had a DNP against the Bucs, and that was kind of screaming. But when they also signed Brian Asamoah II as a linebacker. So they're trying to find that spot. My guess is Otis Reese would probably be a Patriot by the end of the week, but his ties with Mike Vrabel. It's just the Titans have been rotating linebacker in and out, trying to figure out who is going to be that backup spot. They figured out who's going to be the starter with James Williams, but now who is going to be in that fourth spot to try and get a roster spot on this 53-man group. Go to the cornerbacks, and right now, I hope L'Jarius Sneed gets activated off the PUP list, but if he is healthy, it's going to be him, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Roger McCreary, Marcus Harris, Darnell Baker Jr., and Gabe Judy Lowley. Jalen Kimber, he was kind of projected to make this roster, but if you look at his stats on Saturday night, They were not good. They had 2 targets. They were 2 targets against him, 59.6 PFF grade. He could not guard anybody, and I think the quarterback rating was over 100. Not a good day for him. I don't expect him to make this roster. Going to the safeties, I got Quandre Diggs. Now that he's healthy, the Titans signed him. He knows this team. He was with them last year. He's got some talent, veteran. Kevin Winston Jr., hopefully he's healthy. He's expected to come back next week. And then your 2 starters, Amani Hooker and Xavier Woods. And then your special teams room, no surprise here with Johnny Hecker and Joey Sly. We don't even have a battle with that. Morgan Cox as your long snapper. And then James Prochet II. He is a wide receiver. I don't have him grouped with the wide receivers because he is listed a kick returner, and I expect him to be the special team specialist on this team. So that's your whole entire roster projection. Now, this isn't finalized. We still have 2 more weeks until that day, August 26th, where they have to cut down to 53. But let me know down in the comments section. The Titans have a top blank roster in the NFL. What's your guess? I'm going to say probably, I think they're a lot better than they were last year, but it's not hard to be better. I would say they have a top 20, 25 roster in this league. I expect them to win about 6 to 7 games going into this year. It's a process. You're developing, you're getting better throughout each year, and Cam Ward obviously showed that he's going to be the franchise quarterback for years to come. Don't forget to hit that big red sub button. Subscribe to Titans today because we are in a sub battle with our rival Texans, and I want to get that closer. So go ahead, hit that sub button, and as always, tighten up.